Hey there, Sadie friends. This is Mr. DeGenero coming back at you from my classroom. Absolutely, certainly not my kitchen again. I'm going to hopefully not use it no more. But here's what we're going to be doing. This is called a cup stack, and this is an activity I am going to be doing through in grades K through 4. Now that means boys and girls from K1, moms and dads and kids, that if you're having trouble in class or you want to show what's going on, you can watch this video and you can get some help that way. All right, so what are we going to do? Well, we want to make the classic cup stack. So take a look. That's what it should be when it's all said and done. But there's a twist to this one. And the reason why we're going to twist it is because we want you to see a few different things. The first thing we want you to see is that sometimes keys don't mean what they actually are. Well, that's weird. It's really weird. And that's okay, because weird is part of computers. Remember, in my K's and 1s, we were talking about how the imagination is the only thing that's limiting your computer, because it will literally do anything you want to one way or another. It will, as long as you program it right. And my older kids, this is still something that we need to do as well. This did fool some of you. Most of you guys did a really good job with this, actually. Another thing that we want to do is get used to entering in commands. And the commands really do make a big difference. So like the commands on the on Tinker in particular, sometimes got a little bit confusing. And the way to fix it was almost always to simplify the command. So if you simplified the command, then life was good for you. Okay, so first thing you're going to need 3 cups, stackable cups. They don't have to be plastic. They can be glass, whatever, but they have to stack so that they fit inside one another. Now, in the case of this activity, you don't necessarily need to have them stack inside of each other. Okay, so 3 cups will work. They're relatively the same size. All right, now, what commands are you going to use? Well, the commands you're going to use will be the very first one. It's going to be up. Okay, now what up means on this activity means you're going to pick the cup up and lift it. All right, now you're going to always lift it higher than 1 cup underneath it, okay? So that would mean, I'm going to put this down a little bit, that would mean that my cup is going to sit, when I pick it up, higher, let me do one in the back so you can see it, higher than the one underneath it. Not so much higher, just higher, okay? All right, now the down arrow means you're going to put it down. You don't have to worry about commands like grab it, pick it up. You don't have to be that specific. That's a really waste of all of our time. Certainly not what we're trying to do here. So it'll make our lives a lot easier. But on your answer sheets, you are going to be doing show me arrows and such. Okay. Now the next thing is the down arrow, which means you're going to put it down 1 cup length like this. Okay. Sometimes if you have 2 cups sitting on top of each other, the down arrow would be 1 cup, and the second arrow would be all the way down. Okay. The third symbol that we're going to talk about is going to be the move forward and move backwards function, okay? And that means if you press or if you write for your coding a right arrow means you're going to go halfway or 1/2 cup length, okay? Which means like this. All right, I hope you can see that. I think you can. All right, 2 cup lengths or a second arrow means it's going to go clear over the another cup, okay? So if I want to go from no cups to 1 cup above and below each other, you have to hit 2 arrows going forward, which would be 2 right arrows. Now, if you want to do backwards, you still have to do the same thing, but you're going to hit the left arrow. Left arrow means to go backwards 1/2 cup length. So if I want to take this off of there, I lift the cup up. Here, hang on. Okay, now I'm going to lift the cup up, which would be the up arrow, and then I got to move it backwards 1/2 cup, and then another one, which gives me 1 full cup, and then I could put it down. Okay, so if you want to put a cup on top of each other, you have to pick the cup up arrow, move it forward, which is right arrow again to make it all the way over it, and then set it down. All right? Okay. Now there's one more of these, two more. It's really opposites like that one. is going to be the, how do I put it, is going to be your rotation. Now the rotation always has to be defined by an amount of degrees. So in this case, we're going to rotate 90 degrees. Okay? All right, now, what's 90 degrees? Well, that's 1/4 of 360. But why does that matter? Well, if you read a clock, or if you have a quarter of a pizza pie, then you kind of have an idea of where this thing should be facing. Okay, so if I'm at 12 o'clock on a clock, and I go 90 degrees, my cup will be facing 3 o'clock. If I go 90 degrees again, it's going to go 6 o'clock. If I go 90 degrees again, it's going to go to 9 o'clock, and then 90 degrees again, it's going to go straight back up to 12 o'clock. Now, once again, you could have the right rotation or left. If you left rotate it, well, then you're going to have to turn it to the left 90 degrees, which means like this. Left arrow, or left rotation, is 90 degrees. Left rotation puts it at 6 o'clock. Going backwards, going back 90 degrees is going to go to 3 o'clock, and then going back 90 degrees puts it back at 12. You have to use all 6 commands to create this thing here. See it? This shape in front of you. But it's going to be straight forwards and backwards. You don't have to worry about right and left. They're not on here. Instead, the right and left mean forward and backwards. Okay? That's what we're going to do for this week. We could always change this, and I have extension activities if you want to see them. I am going to put a couple different extension PDFs on the extension activities on our webpage, or I mean on our Google Forms or whatnot for our assignments, if you want to do different ones. Some very quick ones, it could be sitting like this, or I could have more of them. Okay, whatever you want to do. Extension activities for us in specials doesn't mean you have to turn it in. It's just for fun. But this one I do want to see. This is most important, and I want to see your coding. Now, here's what I'm looking for in coding, in your answer sheets, okay? Let me bring out this one I had from Rocket Science. I want you to notice my exemplar. Here we go. Here's my exemplar, okay? Notice that all of them go straight, just like you would read the sentence, like Rocket Science exemplar. They're not turning all over the place. They're going straight across. They're neat. They're very clear, okay? So if you have to do a down with a cup, then I want to see a down, right? If you want to do an up, then I see an up. But I don't want them all over very neat. Because remember, if I'm a computer, I'm going to try out your codes. I'm going to see if they actually work or not. Okay? So I'm going to try to see if your codes work. Number one, it must work with very few, if little exception. But I want to see it neat, because the computer needs to see that it's going to be neat as well. So this is what I want to see for coding. You run out of space, just go to the next line. Just like you would if you're writing a paragraph. Coding is not some crazy, unlogical thing. It's the exact opposite. It's extremely logical. So when you show me some kind of coding, that's the type of thing I want to see. Okay? Make sure that you do that, because if I can't read it, if I can't follow it, then that means it's unreadable code, which means it doesn't get the grade that something else would. But more importantly, you're going to have a computer that's not going to work, and that gets frustrating real fast. All right, guys. Make sure you do my cup stacking activity. Let me see what you have for coding. Again, upload it to the Google site. I would like to see that, please. And I do want to grade these for number 1, completion, and number 2, accuracy. Okay. I don't think it's going to take you very long. It's not intended to. It's meant to be a 5-minute thing. Try to get a partner, and then let me see what you have. Okay. It's good to see you all. I loved coding. It's just so much fun. And I hope to see you next week, and let me see those responses. All right, take it easy.